Tonight on the Northwestern News Report, as wildfires hit Los Angeles, we check in with students impacted by the devastation and have more on how others are stepping up to help.
Plus, a look at Evanston's new police alternative response team, how they're caring for those without shelter this winter.
And dinner with a side of sax. We go inside one Evanston restaurant that is jazzing up evenings with live music.
All that and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now. Hello, and welcome to a brand new quarter of the Northwestern News Report. I'm Kunjal Bastola.
And I'm Alexia Cadota-Browner. Let's dive right into tonight's stories. A hotly contested plan to redo Evanston's zoning code will take shape later than originally expected. Dozens of Evanston residents spoke up at last night's City Council meeting, urging members to delay the timeline for Envision Evanston 2045. It's a major project aimed at addressing growth in the city by overhauling Evanston's decades-old zoning code. It was supposed to be complete by March. After hours of debate, Council voted to have the Land Use Committee present its final plan to Council by the end of February, but will wait until the end of August to deal with the actual zoning changes. In recent months, many locals, including Mayor Daniel Biss's opponent in the April mayoral election, have accused Council of rushing the project for political purposes. And while Biss initially called delaying Envision Evanston 2045 immoral in a December interview, he had this to say after last night's votes went down.
We'll have to make sure that we've done the work to have a product that we think is what this community deserves at those times. But I'm really hopeful that these delays that we've just adopted will give us the time to get the details right, to incorporate all the different input that we're getting.
The Land Use Commission will still meet tomorrow night to discuss the plan, with public testimony reopened. After that, the committee has 4 more meetings before the council-imposed deadline.
With the new year, we're checking in on one of Evanston's newest programs. NNN's Lance Wilhelm spent the day with Crisis Alternative Response Evanston, or CARE, to see how the police alternative is impacting the city.
Between the snow, wind, and below freezing temperatures, the winters in Evanston can feel brutal. That's especially true for people who lack resources, food, transportation, and even shelter.
And a lot of them are just freezing and want to get out of the cold.
That's where Crisis Alternative Response Evanston, or CARE, comes in. The program launched in July as a non-police response team for low-risk emergencies. In just over 5 months of operation, CARE has already answered over 700 calls and counting, many of which have to do with issues surrounding homelessness.
It can be really impossible to find someone a place to stay, but things that we can offer people are 24-hour bus cards or just venture cards so that they can get access to public transit, at least have somewhere to be warm.
While CARE can't single-handedly give everyone the resources they need, it aims to provide enough of a helping hand for them to get back up on their feet.
Is drying for today.
Sue Murphy runs a shelter for the unhoused in Evanston and says the CARE team has had a big impact on those who are struggling.
Even if it's just directing them over here to have a cup of coffee, they can let them know where they can go in Evanston to get help.
This isn't a cop car, it's a CARE car, and there are 2 of them in the city of Evanston, both equipped with 2 CARE officers, and those officers are in charge of answering all the calls assigned to the CARE team 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
In the trunk of the car, backpacks with everything from food and clothing to hygiene kits.
You see deodorant, razor, mouthwash, toothpaste, soap.
But CARE isn't just about resources. It's about building relationships.
Do you normally come to the library?
Yeah.
CARE officers make rounds at the library and local community centers to stay connected.
They learn who the people are who are on our street corners, who are panhandling, or just need somebody to talk to. And that can prevent a lot of problems, I think.
Hi, how's it going?
I just think it's an amazing thing, and we should have had it long ago.
In Evanston, Lance Wilhelm, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Lance. You can reach CARE by calling 911, 311, or by calling the police non-emergency line.
About 2,000 undergraduate students participate in the Federal Work-Study program at NU, according to the university's financial aid department. NNN's Mila Branson shares how a new Illinois law may be giving some of these student workers a raise.
Paychecks are getting a boost this month in Illinois, with minimum wage growing from $14 to $15 an hour.
It's $1, but I think it will make a big difference just in, like how much we get back.
Second-year Abigail Alinda participates in the Federal Work-Study program at Northwestern by working as a mail and package associate at Kemper Hall. She says the raise will support students in the program.
You're getting paid more, so you don't have to worry about as much.
Other work-study participants are also looking forward to the change.
It's more beneficial for all of us, just to be making a little bit more and having to work at one point less hours to get the same amount of money that the school grants us.
For some out-of-state students, the previous Illinois minimum wage already exceeded their expectations.
So I saw 14, I was like, whoa, that's pretty high compared to where I'm from, which is Texas. It's way, way lower.
Like student employees, workers in Evanston businesses like this Taco Bell are also enthusiastic about the move toward higher pay.
So we all need more help around here. I think it'll motivate a lot of people to just want to do more and stay intact.
For some, the ramp may not be enough in the long term.
You're all set. As of right now, $1 is okay, but we should be looking for another increase soon.
Though wages may change again in the future, for now workers can celebrate having a little extra in their wallets. In Evanston, Mila Branson, Northwestern News Network.
The recent change marks the final increase in a 6-year transition approved in 2019, making Illinois one of just 10 other states with a minimum wage of $15 or more.
Northwestern's Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated hosted the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Candlelight Vigil last Sunday at the Alice Millar Chapel. NNN's Callie Proctor brings us to the kickoff of Northwestern's MLK commemoration programming.
Northwestern students, faculty, and Evanston residents alike came together to celebrate the life and works of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the MLK Candlelight Vigil ceremony. The event featured sermons and speeches from Reverend Dr. Karen Mosby, Brother Reverend Michael Blake, and several others in the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, as well as performances by the Northwestern Community Ensemble Gospel Choir.
Yeah, I think I appreciate that this is one of the ways, it shines a light on one of the facets of Dr. King's work in his own religious and spiritual work.
The event's keynote address was delivered by Michael Blake, a Medill alum. Blake helped organize the MLK Candlelight Vigil when he was a student decades ago.
It was very emotional, It was a very full circle moment. And it shows that when you continue to empower the current generation, they'll change the game for future generations.
The event has been held by Northwestern's Alpha Mu chapter since 1980. It continues to honor the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., who was himself an Alpha Phi Alpha brother.
Yeah, my favorite part really just paying respects to Dr. King. Without him, I wouldn't be in this room. I wouldn't be at this university. So for us to be able to set out a day, set out a time to be able to show our appreciation to him, I'd do it any day.
At the Alice Millar Chapel, Callie Proctor, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Callie. Programming will continue this Wednesday with a panel discussion held at Parks Hall. After the break, how NU students are feeling about the LA wildfires. We'll be right back.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. This past weekend, Her Rising Initiative held the Girls Who Lead program at the One Rotary Center in Evanston. 6th through 8th grade girls participated in workshops geared toward preparing attendees for careers in law, fashion design, engineering, and more. NNN's Katajena Nguyen has the story.
Cherie Anna Machon founded Her Rising Initiative when she was just 16 years old. She saw a lack of engaging leadership and career programs for young girls and created the Girls Who Lead program to fill that gap.
There was just a lot of division and a lot of hostility around the country, and I just wanted a space where people could come together. So I wanted something that helped people rise up.
9th grader Toluwani Kainde attended Girls Who Lead last year and decided to come back this year.
It's just a very free place. A place where you can fully express yourself, be who you are, and get to talk to people, relate with new people you don't know, and those people might have the same interests you have.
One workshop leader, fashion designer Liin Gundagdu, wants to teach and empower young girls through fashion.
I just feel they need the support that I didn't have when I was their age. I think they needed someone to give them the first, step to create and use their imagination.
While Girls Who Lead is just a few years old, its founder has already seen former attendees make a difference in the community, including one who organized her own event.
She had Fleetwood Jordan packed with different members of the community and kids, and she had organized her own summer camp and art show. I think moments like that, seeing when the girls actually step into leadership and do something of their own, that makes it all worth it.
In Evanston, Katajena Nguyen, Northwestern News Network.
The Her Rising Initiative plans to expand the Girls Who Lead program outside of Evanston to other cities across the U.S.
Over 2,000 miles away, at least 24 people are dead and more than 10,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed in the Los Angeles fires. The wildfires are the most destructive in the city's history. Their ripple effects are far-reaching, and several NU students and their families have been displaced. NNN's Jasmine Kim spoke with some of them and has more.
The fast-moving flames have destroyed neighborhoods in Los Angeles. The city is home to many students, including Leo McDonald. His house burned down in the Eaton fire.
I wake up to a text where it's my dad's our house is gone. And I was I kind of just stared at it for at least 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. I was just staring at it because it didn't feel real. I left literally 2 days ago.
Other students like Nate Berman don't even know if their home is still standing.
I came to Northwestern a few days ago and I didn't know I would be leaving the place where I grew up maybe for the last time. I'll never get to see it in the same way.
With several of the fires still far from containment, many students from Los Angeles have stepped up by organizing donations and resource documents to help family, friends, and neighbors back home.
Knowing so many people who have lost their homes, and I can't really help financially, and I think the best way I know how to help is just to collect information and collect resources and share that with my followers and whoever is willing to listen.
Berman and fellow freshman Nonzo Nweze started the Northwestern Students Unite for LA Relief GoFundMe with the California Fire Foundation to help families rebuild and to also support first responders.
Students here at Northwestern didn't know much about what was going on back in LA aside from the surface level of a fire. They didn't know the gravity and how many houses were getting destroyed, as well as so many communities being brought down to the floor.
The university has also stepped in, emailing over 1,000 Los Angeles area students a list of helpful resources and reporting forms, coming together to provide support even from a distance. Jasmine Kim, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Jasmine. Northwestern's women's basketball team canceled away games at UCLA and USC due to the fires. If you would like to donate to wildfire relief efforts organized by Northwestern students, scan this QR code on the screen.
An extended stretch of frigid weather has allowed Evanston to flood one of its 4 outdoor ice skating rinks. Over the weekend, our camera spotted several folks taking some laps atop Arlington Lagoon in Dawes Park. Conveniently located just south of campus, the park's cafe is serving up hot drinks and snacks on weekends when the rink is open. Be sure to check the city's rain outline for updates on the conditions of all 4 outdoor ice rinks.
And speaking of those cold temps, we have Emmanuel Perez joining us to give us this week's weather in Evanston. Emmanuel, I hear it's going to be quite chilly, is that right?
That's right, Alexia. We are looking at a very frigid forecast for this week. Right now, we're under a high-pressure system to the west of us that is bringing us clear skies and dry grounds. The system is expected to move east and change our conditions into cloudy skies. Currently, it is clear and dry. The moon is up with the air temperatures being 14 degrees. Throughout the night, we are expected to go from the mid-teens to the lower teens, welcoming our Wednesday temperatures with wind chills as low as 1 degree below zero. For our local precipitation radar, we have no rain in sight and clear skies throughout our viewing region, though that will change in the near future. Locally, our temperatures remain the same across Evanston and in Chicago. It is 14 degrees in Evanston, 14 in Skokie, 14 at O'Hare, 15 degrees in downtown Chicago, and 14 at Midway Airport. Onto our 5-day forecast. This week will feel very much like winter. It'll be dry and cloudy. Wednesday being the only sunny day with a high of 21 degrees. Thursday, windy in the morning and will be cloudy with a high of 35. Friday will be mainly cloudy, being our warmest day of the week with a high of 40 and a low of 28. We might have a few flurries in the night, but there is no accumulation expected. Onto the weekend, it'll be mainly cloudy. Saturday, windy in the morning hours with a high of 31. Sunday will change the story with our low temperatures plummeting down to 5 degrees. That's it for tonight's forecast.
All right, thanks, Emmanuel. Over the weekend, student organizations and activities hosted its annual Winterfest event. I spoke to organizers about how SOA is striving to better incorporate student feedback into its events. Cold weather isn't stopping Northwestern students from enjoying the winter. The annual Winterfest at Norris provides students with a barrier-free evening of frosty fun.
It gets the year kind of kicked off and it gets everybody really motivated in a positive field.
With indoor rollerblading, custom t-shirt designing, and lots of free food, Winterfest has become an event students look forward to every year.
It's fun, a nice way to have fun with your friends, meet new people, and just chill on the weekend.
The event is hosted by Student Organizations and Activities, also known as SOA. Their mission is to offer recreational activities year-round for students to have fun and de-stress outside of class.
We know our students work really hard, so it's also very, very important that they play very hard.
New this year, SOA has ramped up the incorporation of student feedback into its event planning.
We have a lot of survey data that we've taken on prior Winterfest before, so that's been kind of our guide in kind of bringing up new items for students.
We never want our students to feel like they're attending an event that doesn't match what they're desiring to do.
QR codes around the event gather student feedback in real time to help build out future events. Students are already seeing the effects.
It feels like they put a lot more effort into this one. There's more activities going on and a more variety of things. It shows that they actually care about the feedback that we're giving, and it's not just for a front or like to show off.
SOA has more events coming up this school year. Information is on their Instagram page. Coming up, students have been able to use white light therapy at SPAC for multiple years, but is it popular? We'll find out more when we come back.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, piano!
Welcome back. The Ditmar Memorial Gallery is Northwestern's student-run art gallery, and it's now adorned with beautiful works of art. NNN's Sylvie Slotkin stopped by the display earlier this week and spoke with the artist herself.
A lot of this work is really about me looking at and admiring contemporary powwow regalia.
Chelsea Bighorn's exhibition, Regal Adornments, opened last Thursday in the Ditmar Gallery.
I decided I was interested in fringe as an adornment and how it's always just an add-on to a garment or a textile, like a finishing. And I wanted to emphasize the fringe more.
Bighorn's work is a testament to her indigenous roots and fond memories attending powwows with her family. This personal collection caught the eye of Associate Director of Curatorial Affairs for the Block Museum, Kathleen Bickford-Burzak.
I'm just mesmerized by the piece directly across from us with the gray, kind of ombre effect, and it's so diaphanous, it's so delicate, and the red beads hanging down.
This was the first piece Bighorn made for this collection. While it does not have a name, the artist's father says,
She's had it in a couple other shows before, and that just stands out. It's striking, obviously.
I was looking at war shirts or scalp shirts, and they're made with horse or human hair, and they were black and like long, amazing traditional garments.
Bighorn is also teaching a free workshop on Thursday in Ditmar Gallery. Attendants will make their own jingle cones, a common indigenous clothing adornment. As for her exhibition,
yeah, I hope people enjoy it and, find time to just sit and be with the work when it's quiet.
In Evanston, Sylvie Slotkin, Northwestern News Network.
Bighorn's art will be on display until February 3rd. You can see it yourself in Norris.
Hundreds of clubs made their pitch to students at last week's Winter Org Fair, but some are facing unexpected challenges connecting with students. NNN's Margaret Gonzalez has more.
The Org Fair brought together students to share their common interests, with some starting new clubs to explore their passions. Like Jessica Gerber, who leads the NU chapter of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
We're a very new club. LOS is a national organization, but this is the first time we've had Northwestern chapter.
With many new clubs on campus, there's plenty of students sharing their enthusiasm.
A vibe is really determined by the members in the club. So if the members really love the club, that's just going to show up naturally.
While the Fall Org Fair takes place across multiple rooms in Norris, the Winter Org Fair is much more limited, with some having a hard time registering for a table. President of New Movement Club Aaron Soko says it could be a squeeze.
The performing arts were kind of shoved in this tiny little room.
Besides spacing issues, Soko wishes the process was easier for students hoping to jumpstart clubs and keep them alive.
There's no reason why, making a club or keeping an established club going should be so hard.
Club leaders facing those challenges are turning to creative solutions.
I rely both on social media, but also here at the Org Fair. But I really love how each of the clubs has their social media QR codes. So then I would rely on that after learning more about what comes here.
Challenges aside, the Winter Org Fair remains a key event for students to find their place and build community at Northwestern. With club leaders taking initiative, it continues to foster connection and success across campus. In Northwestern campus, Margaret Gonzalez, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Margaret.
Are you feeling the winter blues? Northwestern's Henry Crown Sports Pavilion hopes to brighten your mood, literally. White light therapy claims to fight seasonal affective disorder, but some are skeptical. NNN's Gabriela Umberher-Medalliou shines a light on why.
For the third straight winter, Northwestern's Henry Crown Sports Pavilion is offering white light therapy to students and members. Located in the Wellness Center past the protein bar, the white light therapy room is open to anybody looking to relax and alleviate seasonal depression.
The winters are so harsh and long, and so people are oh yeah, we need white light therapy.
The university says white light therapy, when done regularly, can alleviate depression, anxiety, and exhaustion by shifting circadian rhythms back into place.
And I would love if, I could stare into a light and it would make me happy. But I don't buy it.
The question is, are students going at all?
I don't think any of my friends have, or anyone really close to me that I've talked to.
I feel like I don't know many people who actually go. I think a lot of that is because no one actually believes it works.
The sign-in sheets seem to agree. They show that during the first week of winter quarter, only one group showed up, and nobody had completed the recommended 4 rounds.
It's not too bad. I think 2 people came in yesterday for white light therapy, and then it's mainly people coming in for massages.
Weinberg third year, Hannah Zhu, went to the SPAC Wellness Center to check it out for herself.
SPAC has so many other amenities, I think. And white light therapy is not necessarily the pinnacle of their services there. And you can easily just get a light at home. Yeah.
Still, as the afternoons continue getting dark, the Wellness Center offers a space for students to relax, get a drink, and enjoy each other's company for both white light therapy believers and skeptics.
That read a horoscope. No one actually believes it, but it kind of makes you feel nice.
In Evanston, Gabriela Umberher-Medalliou, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Gabriela. Right after the break, a deep dive into an Evanston staple serving up food and fun. We'll be back after these messages.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back. Evanston's Prairie Moon restaurant dishes up more than just food. On some weeknights, you'll be served live music with a side of student talent. NNN's Allison Miller brings us the facts and the sacks.
Bathed in blue light, being in second year, Chase Wilkins just hit 2 milestones, with friends and family surprising him for his birthday. Wilkins marked 1 year of playing jazzy tunes at Evanston's Prairie Moon.
Music is like, it's kind of addicting. Once you start pursuing it, once you start putting a lot of time into it, you learn to really love it.
Every Wednesday night, Moon Jazz attracts musical artists from across Chicagoland.
I just love seeing people, especially in Evanston, like playing jazz. You know, you don't see it a lot here.
Nearly 3 years and many jams later, Prairie Moon helps artists of all ages get their groove on.
I really like being able to feel the music, and you know, when you lock in that groove, it's like the best feeling ever.
Jazz night tickets are $7. The proceeds are split between performers and the Fulton Street Collective, a group of artists supporting artists.
It's really, really cool to see someone you know and are close with doing something like that.
Wilkins plays at Prairie Moon every month, last week with a quintet of NU students and friends. Under the moonlights, Wilkins dreams of his future.
I'd like to go on tour. I want to write my own music. I want to have my own group. I want to record. I want to do everything.
In Evanston, Allison Miller, Northwestern News Network.
How awesome is that? Kunjal, do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play the trumpet. What about you?
Wow, I play the drums. We might as well join this band. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Alexia Cadota Browner.
And I'm Kunjal Bastola. Have a great night.